Hello and welcome to Faffing About with Adam and Cliff. I'm your host, Adam Doud. Cliff, how you doing this evening?
Ah, you know, I'm a little tired, a little I feel like I'm stretched out. I've just been busy but not busy. I don't know how to else to describe that. But honestly,
I got you.
I'd be a lot better if you guys who are watching this would like and subscribe. It really helps us a lot. And
Like and
we would
subscribe.
yeah.
That's remarkable. I never would have thought of that. You know what? I'm going to like and subscribe right now. So here I go to like,
You
and
bet
here I go to
you
subscribe.
best not faff about. You better get it done now.
Repetition works, folks. I'm
That's
just
right.
saying, repetition works. But yeah. So welcome to another benefit of the Dowd review. We are just sorry, this is an inside joke based on a comment that we
Mm.
got. Anyway, it's fine. Today we are actually on the cusp of a whole slew of devices that are going to be released by Google. And I have the Pixel 9 here,
Ooh.
which the embargo just dropped on this. This is not a review of the Pixel 9. That will actually be appearing on CNN.com. So go check that out if you would
CNN
be so kind.
underscored.
However, there will be a link to buy in the description below, just in
Yeah.
case you are so inclined. But no, today we are actually going to release. We're going to release a review of a category of the only category of devices that Google did not launch and paid by Google. We're talking about the Pixel tablet, which I don't know if you realize this, but this thing's over a year old. I didn't even
Yeah.
realize it. Like
It's
it's kind of crazy.
and since it's launched, they basically did a relaunch with it, didn't they? They kinda made some noise about it again, and they stopped including the base with it.
The speaker dock,
The
yeah,
speaker
yeah,
dock,
the
right?
speaker base thing, yeah. So, um, this is normally, it starts at 399, but that's not really the one you should buy. It's normally a 499 tablet, and they recently, I want to say at it was a Google I/O, I think it
I think so,
was, or
yeah.
like right
Mhm.
before it or something, that they said, hey, now you can buy just the Pixel tablet without the speaker dock, and we'll knock $100 right off the price there for you. So it'll be 399, and that's a lot more attractive. And that way, we can put in our store that it's from 399 instead of from 499
That's
because
right.
that's a little bit more embarrassing. Yeah, so I wouldn't say it was a relaunch per se. I think the speaker dock by itself is like $120 or something
Yeah,
like that. So
something like
you're
that.
saving $20 by getting, getting the combo together at 499. And I'm going to say arguably, if you're going to buy the Pixel tablet, you should probably buy it with the speaker dock, because I'm going to show you what it does. It's honestly, it's kind of a good thing. But it's also kind of not worth $100 bucks. It kind of depends on like how
Right,
you
right.
use it. Is really what it boils down to. But we'll get into all of that. But first, I guess we should go ahead and just show you the tablet, which, by the way, in its initial introduction, is going to be upside down. There's nothing we can do about that, but that's okay because it's just how it makes the most sense to show this to you. So let's go ahead and bring up Skippy,
Hi, Skippy.
and then we're gonna do a little bit of a switchy switch thing here. We're gonna put you up there. We're gonna do the why won't it let me do the
Stop
thing?
faffing about with the menus.
Oh wait, no, here we go. Here we go. There we go.
Ah,
Okay.
perfect.
So so this is the Pixel tablet, and the reason it's upside down is because it's currently on its dock. This is an overhead cam. I'm eventually going to turn this around and face it towards me, but if I do that now, that's not really super helpful for you now, is it? Anyway, so this is the Pixel tablet. This is as docked on the speaker dock and reflected in the in the tablet. You can see my key light there. So enjoy that. But yeah, so this is the Pixel tablet, and I think what Google did here was very smart with this dock here, because I don't know about you, Cliff, but one of my biggest problems with tablets in general is what do I do with them when I'm not using them?
Right. Yeah.
And we've had this discussion on the podcast before. This is not a
Mhm.
stunning insight brought to you by the benefit of a
My
doubt.
struggle in general is just finding enough value out of it, because
Right,
yeah,
right,
it becomes your at least for me, and I think a lot of people, especially when you're talking about, where this is kind of priced at that 399, 499 level, it's probably more of like a media consumption, watching movies and the like, than it is like for getting work done. So
right,
yes,
right.
so having an accessory like this potentially can add more value, add more usefulness to it.
Right. Now, before we dive into that, let me go ahead and just undock this, and we're gonna set it down here. So this is the tablet by itself. It's just under 11-inch display. It's an LCD display, which is,
Right.
not obviously the best. We've got 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage. There's a Google Tensor G2 in here,
Hmm.
which is now a 2 generation old processor. So keep that in mind. There's a front camera that you'll probably won't use all that much. There's a rear camera that you should never use. Um,
Yes.
and you get there's a fingerprint sensor on the top here. This is the power button and the fingerprint sensor, and that is something that every tablet should have. Right next to that is
Agreed.
the power key, and then there's a USB-C port on the side here, along with 2 speaker slits and 2 speaker slits over here. So now the selfie camera is helpful because Google does that approach thing where, like, if you have like a smart dock, a smart speaker dock, and you like walk towards it, it'll be like, "Oh, hi, I see you. What's
Mhm.
up?" You know. So that's about as useful as the front front facing camera gets. But
Yeah, it's
otherwise, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say really similar to, the review that we, recently posted of the Lenovo Yoga 7 Slim 7X that has that situational awareness and wakes up
Right.
uh, the laptop for you. And I think actually, a lot of the speaker docks, which aren't really were, smart displays that were released, both
Hmm.
my Lenovo and my Google Nest, uh display, whatever it's called, both have that feature. And so this is just another Google related device that has that. And it is so
Right.
convenient. It's just like, hi, what can I do for
Right.
you?
Now, on its own, the tablet is, I don't think it's the thinnest tablet I've ever used.
Right.
It's not bad. It's a little bit like, just like looking around the edge, it kind of feels a little bit chunkier than you think it should have to be. Now, I'm not an engineer, nor do I play one on TV, so maybe this is as thin as they can make it. Why don't we get out Mr. The caliper here? This is nine, or I'm sorry, 8.6 millimeters thick. Let me double check that. My mic stand is getting in the way here. All right, let me just go ahead and put that on. Like 8 point. Okay, but it's about 8 millimeters thick. So it's not terribly thick. I just did a review of the OnePlus Pad 2, which I don't remember this number off the top of my head, but it kind of skews thinner if I remember correctly. But yeah, so it's like it's not the thinnest thing in the world. It's not terribly heavy. I mean, it's comfortable enough to hold
Mhm.
in one hand while you're reading or watching something. I use this mainly for content consumption. And actually,
Surprise,
this
surprise.
right. Well, right. I mean, yeah, that's again not an original stunning insight from the benefit of a doubt
Well, I would say, and
podcast.
you talked about the thickness of it. I mean, it's definitely not the thinnest tablet around. I mean, I think, if
Hmm.
you're getting up into the iPad Pro ranges, that's a whole different story.
Right.
However, it's all relative, right? Like it's definitely not HP touchpad thick.
Right. That is very true. And also, like, we need to address this as well, and we'll get into it more once we start talking more in depth about the dock. But it doesn't have to be super thin because of the dock. But one other thing I should point out is on the back here there are 4 pogo pins, or 4 pogo contacts here that that align with the pogo pins here, and these two devices connect together magnetically.
Ah, very
So
nice.
so when you do that, you can just, you can use the tablet like you would like a normal smart screen, and then when you're ready to take it off, you can grab it and just go with it. Now, the magnet is okay. There are times that I will go to dock this and it won't dock cleanly. Like
Mm,
it'll miss somehow. It'll be slightly misaligned. So sometimes you have to like
right,
adjust it a little bit to get it going just right. When you're taking it off the thing, if you just reach over and grab a tablet, you're taking the dock with you.
right.
So what in reading a couple of reviews, I figured out the best way to do it is to just kind of grab one side, push down a little bit to misalign it, and then it comes off easily.
Okay.
So if you're gonna go ahead and grab it, you just do that, and it comes off
This is like a this is like
pretty
a
decent.
very hard uh balance to strike because you don't want it so easy to remove that if you nudge it, like if you keep it on a shelf, that it
Right,
falls off by
it
accident.
falls off.
Right.
Yeah,
So I guess that maybe that's the best compromise.
yeah.
That
Although the other day this actually did fall off of our kitchen table down face down under the tile, and I was just like, no, I have to review that. Um, and it lived, so that's good. There's actually cases that you can buy for this
Mhm.
if you wanted to, and the cases will actually have like the magnet in the back. I got one from Spigen that works pretty well with this. That you know passes through the contacts on the back and everything like that, so you can still dock it and everything. And actually, I think Google makes a case that actually has like a big round kickstand on it, so
Okay.
that'll actually like fit around the dock, so you can still dock it, and then like when you take it off, you can still stand it up.
Well,
So
look at
that's
you,
kind
Google,
of
coming up with little innovative cases.
I know, right? Um,
You just made a
now,
case for
so
your case.
we did. So now the speaker stand dock thing here comes with a couple of benefits. First of all, there are better speakers in the base than come in the tablet itself. The speakers in the tablet themselves are actually relatively loud. I wouldn't say they're the loudest speakers that I've ever used on a tablet, but they're not bad. Like my wife and I will often watch things while we're having a meal, and we'll just
Mhm.
use this tablet to watch things. And our daughter constantly complains that we're overpowering the kitchen in the other room, or the TV in the other room, which we are not, by the way.
Oh, trust
But
me. I've been dealing with this, and the best solution is to get your child a pair of Bluetooth headphones. It fixes a lot of things. I just took
hmm,
a trip, and for about 3 hours, it wasn't too bad. Just as an aside here, and which is one of the reasons I'm kind of tired.
right.
And before, my daughter would complain if the speakers got anywhere close to being semi loud in the back if she was playing a game or something like that on her smartphone. So Bluetooth headphones fixed that
Hmm,
problem. It only created
good
another
thought.
problem when we needed to talk to her because
Right.
number one, she's got probably got ADHD anyway, which means her
Right.
attention span is kind of low. And then uh on top of that, if she does hear you because she's got the headphones on, she goes, "What? What?"
Doesn't
So
think to take them off first and talk to you in a normal voice. Love that.
that was some faffing about I did, and
And
faffing that
also,
I
if
just
I'm
did on
being
here.
honest, guilty. I do that too.
Yeah,
Anyway, so the one benefit is you get the better speaker. The second benefit is it turns your tablet into kind of like a digital photo frame. Or
right.
there are other things that you can do with the. I just have it on a digital photo frame because most of the time this tablet is docked underneath my main monitor here,
Mhm.
and so like I will just be I'll be writing something, and I'll be like, oh, my dog.
I have to
That's
ask,
sweet.
who was that
Yeah.
handsome man, and what shirt was he wearing there on the cover screen?
That was just some homeless guy that I found at a amusement park one
Well, he's
time, and he had exceptional taste in podcasts.
he did, and shirts because that is the benefit of the down shirt, which we've had for available for a while, but now you can go to our page, our homepage for the in YouTube, and have
On
access to
YouTube.
our merchandise. So we're
Hell
just
yeah.
just throwing that out there.
BOTD merch, baby. You can be a friend with benefit if you want. But yeah, so nice little not an ad, but an ad drop there. Uh, but anyway, so that's the other nice option. One other third thing that I thought was a really nice touch is when you have this in hub mode, which is what they call this, you can actually set the battery to max out charging at 80% so that you don't wear out
Ah,
your battery.
right.
So like when you dock it on the hub, it'll only charge up to 80%. When you plug it in, if you plug it into power, which I often have to do because sometimes I'll forget to put it on the hub when I go to bed at night. But when you plug it into power, it'll go all the way up to 90%.
It goes all
But
the way to 11.
yeah. But anyway, so I was gonna mention the other things that you can do with the tablet while it's docked is you can do an art gallery, which just shows you like random
Mm.
artwork. You can do a full screen clock. You can do a weather app, or there's a weather frog, which I don't know. I don't really do the weather thing because when it's docked, it actually kind of shows you the weather in the bottom corner there. So like you can see it's like down there.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so that's that's an option that you can do though is that you can do like a full screen weather app for the wallpaper.
Good job.
Yeah, so I mean, really, that's I don't want to say that's it because that's mainly my use case for the tablet
Right, right.
is one nice thing is if you have like a Nest camera you can get notifications on the tablet if someone appears in front of your door. I've google uh, got a Google doorbell here that I need to install
Ooh,
that Google sent me a while back. So sorry Google, I'm getting around to it, I promise. um, but that would also pop up on the tablet automatically if somebody rang the
right.
doorbell, which is kind of nice. I've got my home security system on here so that if I'm expecting a package or something, I can actually just pull up my camera and just keep an eye on the feed while I'm working. So if the UPS guy gets here, I can intercept him in the front lawn so the dogs don't get involved. Because once the dogs get involved, nothing good happens.
I know how that goes.
Yeah,
Mine just try to get out the front door as I'm trying to get the package. If I can't get it
yeah,
closed, by the time the guy comes or gal comes to the front door, which is
yeah.
then I just look like the like the cat lady in all the movies trying to push back her cats or dogs with her leg as she gets the package, and it's just not a good thing.
You know what they have? Actually, my wife just discovered this not too long ago. They've got a retractable screen that you attach on your door jamb and on your door. So when you open the door, the screen comes out and
Huh.
still prevents the dogs from like pushing through. And then you can like detach the screen and walk through if you need to.
Ah,
But if it's like just like a salesperson or a delivery package or even like trick or treaters, you can just open the door. The dogs still can't get through, and you can make your shady transaction and then, close
gotcha.
the door and the dogs can't get out.
Also, it
So,
would also be a
yeah,
great way to prank somebody who has an armload of packages or bags of groceries and doesn't see it.
I was going to say, or if you're in a hurry, you could throw your door open and try to run out and kill yourself. That's also an option.
Wow.
Uh,
I didn't go that dark, my friend. I was
right.
just talking about
Um,
making people trip. You killed a person.
right. Exactly. But I mean, in fairness, I killed myself. So it's
Ah,
fine.
that's true.
Um, so, like, the part that I kind of stick on every
Yeah.
time I think about this tablet is I don't think this is a $500 tablet. Um, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it's a $400 tablet without the dock. I
Yeah.
think 400 is probably. I actually kind of am leaning more towards like 350 is where this should be with the dock. Um,
I
like
th-
I just think that $500 is a big ask
I think
for
you're
what this
right
tablet
because
provides.
it's not like it has an AMOLED screen.
Right, it's
And
got an LCD screen and it's a two generation. I mean, at the time it was only a one generation old
right,
processor, but it's a
right.
two generation old processor now. Um, Now that I'm back on a Pixel, I should play around with it a little bit because I know back at CES they were talking about like doing like a media transfer thing between
Ah,
like Pixel devices.
right.
I got to figure out how that works. I've only had the Pixel for a couple of days though, so I haven't really played with that all that much. But it's supposed to be like an easy way to transfer what you're watching on your phone onto your tablet. Um, kind of like I almost want to say it's kind of like that old WebOS thing where you could like hold the
What
phone
I
up
was
to the
thinking.
tablet, and
It's second
it's
time
kind
we
of like that, but not.
not
Um,
yeah.
they had a demo of it at CES, but that was like 7 years ago, so I don't even remember what happened at CES. But yeah, I really just think like I think Google's just aiming a bit too high with
Yeah.
this, and I'm actually kind of surprised a year later that that Google's still selling this for $500.
Well, I think
You know,
part of it is they are trying to keep the Pixel brand more of a premium brand, right?
sure.
And so when you're looking at tablet competition, I mean, if they're pricing this at 399, you're basically at the same money as like an entry level iPad.
Yeah, no, you're more than that. An entry level iPad is like 329.
Yeah, for the old school one. I was thinking
Oh,
more of like
actually,
the
yeah, because they've got the new one with the USB-C plug, right?
yeah.
And I don't remember
And I
what the
think that's
price
actually
point
more
is on
like
that.
I think it's at least 399, if not a little
Is that
more.
390? Yeah, maybe it is.
I think it
Maybe it
is.
is. Now that
But
you
anyway,
mention
you're
it.
kind of playing in that same territory. Now, am I saying this is as good as an
Right.
iPad? No, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you're talking about brand perception, you know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I just think it's a pretty big ask for what it is.
I agree.
That being said, I'm happy that it exists.
Yeah, me too.
Um, and I'm happy that Google tried to answer that question about what do you do with a tablet when it's not being used because I've got an iPad mini upstairs that's on my kitchen table, and when I'm not using it it just kind of sits on the kitchen table.
But
It's
you know,
not terribly useful.
this isn't the
Go
first.
ahead, I'm
I mean,
sorry.
Google's not the first company to try to do this. I mean,
Oh
even I
no.
think with the touchpad, we've reviewed several, or maybe just one, Lenovo M series tablet years ago. I think
Hmm.
before when we were still doing the audio
Yeah.
version of the show, they came with a dock that I don't think would have, performed nearly as well as this at that function, but still had the same idea of making it useful when it was on when you weren't using it. So I
Right.
do the thing I like about this is I mean both the Lenovo's and this use pogo pins, but this because it has the magnetic thing just seems like it's more convenient, less likely to
Right.
fall off the dot, all that stuff. So it seems like
Right.
a better executed, and this also has speakers in it. So it's that hub is not just a dock and charging and
Right.
all
It's
that
not
kind
just
of
a
stuff.
dock. It
So
actually has
yeah,
a use. And I can tell you that the speaker in this is significantly louder than what it is on the tablet. If
right.
you want, I could like maybe try to
Sure.
like yeah, let me
Maybe
see.
try yeah without this the hub and then with just so we get a baseline.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to our channel, so that we don't get a copyright strike on our own music. Let's see here. You know what we need to do? We need to print, or we need to print. We need to publish a audio version of our song so that we can just play that back. All right, so here's our channel trailer here. Or yeah, here's our channel trailer. So I'm gonna crank it. So not bad.
Mhm.
You don't get a lot of the low end, but you
No.
never do on it. But let's hang it up.
Oh wow, that's a huge difference.
It was, and let me just kick it back to the beginning again.
Definitely more
You get a lot
bass.
more thump, a lot more thump with that, and it generally sounds better.
Hmm.
So that's a good compromise. Yeah. So I mean, that's just a little audio sample there of the difference. Now, is this $100 difference? I don't know.
Yeah,
um, you know, like I said, I want to say that this is like a solid, maybe 350 is undercutting it a little bit. Maybe this is a 399 with the dock.
that's a
You know?
that is so weird. I literally was gonna say. So here's my thing, based on what you were saying before is that I feel like the sweet spot for this is like 128 gigabytes of storage and the speaker dock for 399, and then maybe $50 more for 256, that
Yeah,
kind of
something
thing.
like that.
Right.
Something like that. And maybe like I don't know, maybe you hit that 329 price point without the dock,
Without the
so
dock. There you go.
that
That
you can
actually feels
compete.
right. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah,
You should
so I
send that
mean,
to Google and say, "This is what you should do."
yeah, Google that one's free. All the rest you got to pay for. But yeah, so I think that's kind of where we're landing. I think it's a little bit overpriced. If you can get it on a Black Friday, or if you can like use up some of that old, Google Store credit that you have from buying a Pixel 2 years ago or
Right.
something. If you can get a good trade in, do they have? They probably have trade ins
I'm
on
sure
this
they do
guy.
on the Google Store, yeah. They do for just
Um,
about everything.
oh yeah, so they do have a trade in. Oh, by the way, this I should mention that this is the porcelain. They also have a hazel, which is kind of a greenish color.
Right, it's like a greenish
Yeah,
gray.
more gray, yeah. And then
Yeah.
they have a rose, which is out of stock right now. But anyway, let me just see
Kudos to
what
Google
kind
for
of.
actually, like, breaking out of, just white and black, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if you have a seventh generation iPad, which is super old,
Mhm.
then you can get $45 for it.
Hmm,
You have a ninth generation iPad, you can get $100 $100 off of it. That's not bad. I mean, that's a
really not.
what, a 2 year old iPad at that point.
Yeah.
So that's a solid offer. If you have an iPad Air, let's just for giggles. Third generation iPad Air, $35. Yeah, that's third generation though. So
You
let's
went
see,
down
iPad
instead of up,
Mini,
Adam, you're not supposed to do that.
an iPad Mini that I have, the sixth generation iPad Mini
Right.
that I have upstairs, $130. So
That doesn't
you
seem
can
as
get
worth
about
it
a
to me.
hundred bucks off
Yeah.
if you have an iPad that you want to trade in. That's not bad.
That's okay. I mean,
But yeah,
I think the iPad mini at that is like a $600 tablet, though, isn't it? 500 and something with that generation?
yeah, I think it's 499. It was 499 when it was originally sold. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know then.
It probably still is,
For the base version, yeah,
because
yeah,
Apple doesn't take off money for anything.
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, but if you got the iPad Mini when it first came out, that was back when I was at Digital Trends, so that was like 5 jobs ago.
Right,
So
right.
it's getting a little long in the
So
tooth
here's
there.
the thing, though, because
Uh,
a lot of
yeah.
times when I don't know if this is still the case. I kind of think it still is that when Apple introduces a new product, right, into in like a new size category. Now I know this is not the first, technically Google's first tablet. I mean, you had the two Nexus 7s, you had the Nexus 9, and then you had that weird Chromebook tablet thing.
Yeah, the Chrome tablet thing, which you
But
had and you
it's been
sent to me, I think. You
no,
had that
that
Chrome
was the
tablet.
HTC, I think. Anyway, uh
Anyway, yeah.
so my point is it's not the first time they've done a tablet. However, it's the first time in a long time. And I know when Google enters a product category, it's usually I think it's less so now when it's with Pixel devices than it was with Nexus, but it's kind of still their way to say, "Hey," in the same way that like Microsoft does with the Surface line, here's how you should make an Android tablet.
Hmm.
And my question is, are they doing it in your opinion, are they doing it better than Samsung and OnePlus? Which I would think is really it's really this tablet's competition in the US and Apple.
um,
Duh. But I was thinking
I
Android
would
tablets.
say, by the way, here's that tablet.
What's that? The M10?
That's the Chromebook tablet
Oh.
that you had. Remember, it had the Bridge keyboard. Remember Bridge?
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
send that to you.
So
Yeah.
anyway, and actually, you know what? I'm a little curious now. Give me a second. Uh, this is about a millimeter thinner than the Pixel tablet.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Huh.
anyway,
Well, one thing
um,
I was thinking about just very quickly is that the Tensor G2, along with the Tensor G3, and we don't know about the G4 yet, I don't think, but the thermals on it were not great. And so knowing that, maybe they're using air as an insulator. I don't know.
No, in reference to the G4, from what I understand, it's a modest upgrade from the G3, and I think the reason is because of the thermals. I
Yeah,
think they wanted
yeah,
to better manage those thermals by like not making the thing go, crazy every time you fire it up. Every time you want to do something on the phone, it's not like going, full speed ahead with its hair on fire, that kind of
right.
thing. So, um, I kind of lost our train of thought there. But
Well,
anyway,
I'm just saying I don't think this has a
yeah,
heat pipe or anything in it. It's probably got a little, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just all battery in there. But I
right,
guess I'm not totally surprised that it's thicker
right.
than that old
Um,
Chromebook tablet.
Getting back to the question that you asked though about the Samsung tablets and about the OnePlus tablets. I reviewed the OnePlus Pad. Like I said, it's thinner. It obviously doesn't have a dock, but it has a keyboard accessory
Hmm.
that you can
Hmm.
buy, as does the Samsung, obviously. Um, Probably the closest competition from Samsung would be like one of the A series tablets,
Yeah, yeah.
which I've never had a chance to review those, so I can't really speak to them. Um,
I would think
but
actually the closest competition is probably the last generation OnePlus tablet because it's down to I think 399 now
oh, possibly, yeah. I think
ish.
what the new tablet is like 499, but I
Yeah,
think they also
it's
have
more
like
expensive.
one of those forever trade-in deals where you can like trade in a tablet in any condition and get like $100 off or something like
Hmm.
that. So OnePlus it does deals like
OnePlus
that
does
every now and
OnePlus
then.
things,
Right.
and
That's just
Samsung does
OnePlus being
Samsung things.
OnePlus. But what you call it? So like I think this is kind of a tablet. If you're shopping for this tablet, I don't know that you're going to get a Samsung or a OnePlus just because I think if you're shopping for this tablet, it's because you want this hub functionality as
Right,
well,
right.
which those will not give you under any circumstances. So, with Samsung, you get DeX, which is very nice. With OnePlus, you actually get that open canvas thing that they had on the OnePlus
For
Open,
multitasking.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I actually have the OnePlus tablet that's actually going with me on trip this week. Just because I don't need a laptop, but I might need something, so I'm taking the OnePlus tablet with the keyboard.
Gotcha.
Um, and the OnePlus keyboard. Another little digression has an NFC tag in it, where if you're using a OnePlus phone, you can like transfer data directly from the phone to the tablet using that NFC
Mm.
like thing on the keyboard. Kind of sucks that it has to be a OnePlus phone, but I would like to see like
Yeah, it
any
does.
phone
Well,
do
just like
that.
every other
But
company, they're trying to keep it in
it's
it.
a
They're trying to
privacy
make the
thing. They
you
explained it.
gotcha. But I
They
think
just
the
want to make
end, I
sure your
mean,
data is secure.
obviously the OnePlus tablet and possibly even the Samsung, if you get a keyboard with it, is maybe targeted more towards productivity
Right,
as an option. Whereas this is definitely something to be more of like stay in your home, or I mean, obviously can go with you to like a hotel or something, but not for
right,
productivity's sake.
right. But yeah. So I mean, that is a look at the Pixel tablet. I don't know if you're shopping for a tablet right now, but if you are, this is. I mean, like I said, it's about $100 overpriced. So if you can find it on a deal, if you can get like if you have a trade in that you can toss in, like an old tablet that you don't care about, maybe you can get it for that price. But if you can get it for $399, I think it's probably a pretty decent deal.
Mhm.
If you got to pay anything more than that, you're probably best to just kind of wait. Maybe see if Google refreshes this in another year.
I like the form
You know,
factor. I just, yeah,
yeah,
they just need to keep evolving it. I hope it's not one of those Google projects that just dies after one generation,
right.
because that's entirely
Yeah.
a possibility.
Speaking of, I actually referenced the Google Graveyard in my Pixel 9 review. I will let you guess why. But
Mm,
or you can just read it for yourself when this goes on, when the review goes up tomorrow as we record this. But now, as you're watching this, if you're a patron, or yesterday if you're watching this on the main channel, because that's how our timeline works. But yeah, for now, I'd like Cliff. Did you have any other like thoughts or questions that you wanted to throw at me? Because you haven't tripped me up on this review like you usually do at least once. So I'm actually getting a little nervous. Uh, like,
no,
what's he going to
no,
ask
don't.
about that I didn't test? um, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, overall, if you can get a deal on it, go ahead and pick one up. Otherwise, you could probably wait on it. But for now, that's going to do it for this particular review. And we're going to go ahead and toss this to our outro so you can listen to our music and like and subscribe. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And while you're doing that, like and subscribe. Oh, hi there. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, then you obviously liked what you saw. So why not take it a few small steps further? How about you drop a thumbs up on this video and maybe hit that subscribe button?
And while you're there, move that pointer over a few pixels and click the bell. All of that will ensure that we get noticed on the YouTubes, and we can make more of these videos just for you.
And if you want to go even a little bit further, you can head over to patreon.com/benefitofthedoud and sign up for as little as just $2 per month. And for that, you'll get early access to our videos and some bonus content that we don't show on the main channel.
Plus, we're cooking up new perks and benefits all the time. So go to patreon.com/benefitofthedoud and sign up today.
That's patreon.com/benefitofthedoud. And as always, we thank you for watching and for giving us the benefit of the Doud.